Everybody? What is going down? What is going down? Wanted to pop on, see what everybody was thinking as far as last night's draft pick. I think it's a good pick. I think it's a good pick. There's a lot of people that have questions about it. I think it's a good pick by the Steelers, and I'm sure we'll break it all down. But Derek Harmon, there's these reports out there that supposedly he's got a shoulder issue. Supposedly has like a torn labrum and partially torn rotator cuff. I'm like, he played a football season. He was playing in the college football playoff. It didn't seem to bother him. So, Jare Devil, I believe, or Jared Evil. I believe it too. So, I don't know if we want Mason starting or not. I mean, it may end up being that, but we've said it a lot, and a lot of people said the same thing, is that build your roster. If you don't have the quarterback and you don't feel that the quarterback is there, just build your roster. Daredevil. Gotcha. Jared Devil. I apologize, man. Now I finally got it. A foundation pick. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. And here's the thing. There's people that are just growing out of their skin about the Steelers not taking Shedeur Sanders. Don't get me wrong. At one point, I'm like, you know what? I want Shedeur Sanders too if he's there at 21. But if the Steelers didn't feel like he was the guy, and it's back and forth on, well, maybe we should take Sanders, maybe we should take a D tackle, then you always take the D tackle in that situation. If you're back and forth on a quarterback, then the answer is always no. Take the D lineman or whoever else you're considering at the time. You don't reach for a quarterback when you're not 100% sure. It doesn't matter. What's going on, Andre Green? Yeah. And people are talking about, Cam Hayward, he's going to be 36 next year. He can't play forever. All that's true. But here's my thought on that. Let's just say Cam Hayward plays forever. Let's just say Cam Hayward plays till he's 50 years old. Does that mean that the Steelers can't have more than one good D tackle? I mean, why can't we have more than one good player at a position, man? Like everybody, well, it's a replacement for Cam. Yeah, it probably will be. But let's just say Cam is a high-level player till he's 43 years old. Why can't we have more than one good player? I mean, how many good defensive linemen did the Eagles have last year? You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have more than just one good player at a position. It's okay. So, it's okay. I like the pick. So, I didn't watch last season, I don't even know what you're talking about. So, yeah, that's my whole thing, man, is that you can have more than one good player. That's allowed. It's allowed to have more than one good player in a position. So, I like the pick. We needed a defensive tackle. So, the Steelers pick 83rd next. So, I don't think they should draft Will Howard in the third round. Look, if you didn't reach for Shedeur Sanders in the first, why are you reaching for Will Howard in the third? Doesn't make sense. So, they got opportunity. They got other places that they need. So, yeah, Will Johnson not getting drafted. Hell, there was things 2 weeks ago talking about him being drafted 4th overall. And he goes from that to not even being drafted in the first round is crazy. So I don't know. We needed a D lineman. It's okay to have more than one at a position. It's okay. It's okay. So now we got an opportunity. We're going to see what happens. So, nah, Mark Malone. No Thunderbird for Will Howard in the third round. So, I don't care if the Giants should have drafted Shedeur Sanders. They didn't, and I don't follow the Giants, so I could care less. I care about the Steelers and what's going on, Chris. And I think the Steelers did exactly what they were supposed to do. They needed a defensive tackle. They didn't feel like any of the quarterbacks that were available were worth drafting at 21, so you take the defensive tackle. It's exactly what you were supposed to do. It's exactly what you're supposed to do. Absolutely, the Steelers are drafting a running back. Well, I shouldn't say absolutely. I think they should. Now, that doesn't mean they will, but I think they should take a running back in this draft. Do I think Judkins will fall to the third? I don't know. Maybe. It was absolutely the smartest pick. I mean, self-made, you say that Sanders is a first rounder, but nobody took him in the first round. So if they didn't take him in the first round, but here's the thing. People want to say, well, if he doesn't go in the first round, then he's not good. It's like if you don't get drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, that you're not a good football player. That's not what that means. It just means maybe you weren't a first round talent. Okay, so be a second round talent. Be a third round talent. And go play football. So maybe it was politics, maybe it wasn't, but whatever. But here's the one thing that politics never gets in the way of, whether you're a good football player or not. Like, politics be damned as far as drafting. I get it. But once you get your opportunity, if you go out there and play good football, politics doesn't get in the way after that. So I don't disagree with you on politics, on where you get drafted or not getting drafted. I'm with you. So, Rocket, this is a Steelers channel, man. We don't care about the Vikings here. Third round pick, man, it's so hard to predict who the third round pick's going to be because we just don't know who's going to be available. It was a lot easier. Well, I guess it wasn't so much easier as far as the first, but nah, I can't take Kyle McCord in the third. I do like McCord, but if he'll be around in the fifth round, take him then. Uncle played for the Steelers in the 90s. That's awesome. If we can land some combo of Howard or Shook and Caleb Johnson and Tootin, yeah? So, Tyler Shook, I'm on Shook in the third round. I just don't think he's going to be there. I think the Browns are going to end up taking him in the second round with one of their two picks. That's what I think. Said if the Steelers don't get a quarterback this year, do they go for a QB next year? Of course they do. And here's the thing. You can take a quarterback this year. You can also take a quarterback next year. There's nothing saying that you can't do that. There is nothing saying that you can't take a quarterback in both of these, man. So, hey, just as a reminder, if you're in here, obviously, and you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do us a favor. Not only hit that like button, but also subscribe to the channel, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't kill your franchise like it did in the past. Like if you drafted a quarterback, even if you draft a quarterback number 1 and he doesn't work out, like before, it would set you back. It doesn't do that anymore. Like it doesn't set you back. You just, hey, go get another one and get rid of the guy. You know, think the Steelers when they drafted Baby Hands. When Baby Hands Pickett got drafted a couple years ago at number 20, 2 years later, he's off the football team. That didn't set the Steelers back. They just didn't draft another quarterback, but they could have. It didn't set them back. So, top 5 QBs currently, like in the draft. But I think the Steelers got an opportunity. I think the third round pick, I think needs to either be a running back or here's another one, guys, corner. I think there's going to be a run on corners and wide receivers in the second round. But if one of those guys slips, the Steelers need to think about corner in the third round too. Yeah, you lose the potential for an impact player at any position if you miss on them in the first round. It doesn't have to just be quarterback. It could be anybody. It could be D tackle. It's anybody. That's not position specific. But it doesn't set your franchise back like it does like it used to. Because it used to set your franchise back. Doesn't do that anymore. Yeah, I agree. I always thought that the Steelers were going to spend some money in free agency on a corner, and they didn't do that. I mean, Slay is not answering, that's not, attacking the position. That's okay. Here's a guy 1 year is putting a Band-Aid on the position. That's not addressing the problem that we have at corner. Leonard, what's going on, bro? How you doing, man? No, we don't. I was glad we don't have to see Carter. I was glad that the Browns said, you know what? No, we're not going to draft Abdul Carter and team him with Myles Garrett. That would have been problems. So, yeah, Mark Malone. I was on Beanie. I like Beanie, but I'm just not sure Beanie's the guy. But apparently they in free agency, they did get a guy, Eccles, that can play slot corner. He did it for the Jets and did it pretty well. He'll take Beanie's job. Could I get on board with Nick Chubb? No. Because again, you're not addressing the running back, the running back position. For instance, we got a 1-year tender on Jaylen Warren. Gainwell's 1 year. Nick Chubb's only going to get a 1-year contract if he came to the Steelers. This draft is full of good quality running backs. It's full of them. This is the year that you take a running back. You don't wait and just say, hey, we're going to get Nick Chubb for 1 year. No, draft the guy that is going to be around for a while. No, I mean, look, people think that we missed out on Sanders, but okay. Again, if the Steelers think if it was a toss-up between taking a defensive tackle and a quarterback and you're going back and forth, then the answer is always a defensive tackle because that means you're not sold on the quarterback. And I think the Steelers have learned their lesson on reaching for a quarterback, that isn't necessarily a first-round talent. Kenny Pickett wasn't a first-round talent, and we reached on him. Shedeur Sanders, not a first-round talent. Why do we need to reach? There's no reason to do that. I mean, digital, I get it, but everybody's got to stay healthy. So, That's right, self-made PTSD. I'm with it. They were scared of Kenny Pickett all over again. Kenny Pickett had a ring, so what? What does that mean? Didn't you know how dumb that is? Oh, Kenny Pickett's got a ring. Yeah, and they loved him so much in Philadelphia, they traded him immediately. They didn't think he was even worthy of being their backup. Man, get out of here. Kenny Pickett's got a ring. He was so great that they said, you know what? We don't even want you to be our backup, man. We don't need you to be a backup. They didn't give him up for no good draft capital. Stop lying. God, why do people always think? I know you're not used to me. And let me just tell you, I will go back and forth with you. I will have fun with you. We can argue. But what I don't allow you to do is come in and lie to try to be right. You can't lie and try to be right. Kenny Pickett, he got good draft capital for Kenny Pickett. Man, get out of here. They loved him so much that they said, we don't want you to be the backup anymore. The backup. Ugh. Yeah, I think if Harmer wasn't there, I think you're right, Digital. If Harmer wasn't there, I think they were going to trade back too. Exactly, Jason. A defensive tackle that led the FBS in pressures. I don't know what else you want. We needed a D tackle, so. Exactly, Matt. Look, I'm not going to bash Sanders. He's not mobile, but he's athletic enough, I think. He did enough. But he's just not crazy. So, not a crazy athlete, not a crazy arm, but he can make all the throws. But I'm happy with the pick. I'm happy with the pick. I know people are going to disagree and be upset. I am happy that the Steelers did it. So, I am happy. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But we're back. We're back. So, hey, what's going on, Rob from St. Louis? You're ecstatic about the pick. I am too. Nah, leave that mad dog alone, man. Leave that mad dog alone. Arch Baby Doll, what's going on? It was a good time, man. I'm glad you had a good time. It was a good time. We're going to be back live tonight, people. Just so everybody knows, we're going to be live again tonight for the draft. So if you want to stop in, have some fun, talk football, talk Steelers, and watch the draft again, we're going to be live again tonight, people. Yeah, I like the pick. I like it. Now people are talking about, well, how do we get a second rounder? And I'm like, The only way Steelers are going to get a second round pick in this draft is they're going to have to trade a person. So, going to have to trade a person. So we'll see what happens. Running back, I'm going running back over quarterback in the third round. But I can take QB in the fourth, though. You're right. Yeah, the third or fourth, I'm there. Don't forget about corner, too, people. Don't forget about corner. Steelers got to address that, too. The Steelers have to start addressing cornerback. Do I think the Browns are going to take Shedeur? Maybe. Maybe. Sanders did not get drafted in round one, Arch Baby Doll. Harmon's mom passed away? Like today? No, okay. I was like, I thought, let's see. Oof. Oof. Brutal. I mean, the Steelers were hoping for Sanders. Some Steeler fans, but I like this, man. I like the pick. So, yeah, I just think we have to. Yeah, Harmon's mom is on life support. That's crazy. And you're right. If somebody's on life support, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm not sure. Look, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody come back if you're on life support. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But yeah, think corner too, people. Think corner. Think corner. You know, I wouldn't be mad if the Steelers took a corner in the third round. I know we're all talking about running back, and I'm with it, but don't be mad if the Steelers get a corner in the third round. They have to address that position. They just have to. And I know we talk about we got to get more offensive players. We got to spend money on offense. We do, but it's not like we don't have holes on defense too. Keep that in mind, is that the Steelers have holes on defense that they have to address. So, yeah, I'm absolutely willing to do that, Dan. I'm willing to figure it out. I'm just not willing to reach on a quarterback. That's all. I don't want to reach and go draft a quarterback that okay, we drafted a quarterback in the let's say the third round, and then he doesn't work out when we could have taken a corner. I'm just not with it. Look, if it's a quarterback that we need to draft and he's a fifth round talent, take him in the fifth round and move on. Well, Skrilla, I'm just not sure that these guys are going to be around. That's the thing. It's like, I think there's going to be a run in the second round on corners. And if there is, the Steelers are going to be ass out. So, there's a few that I really like. But I liked Hairston, but he was a first round guy. I don't know. The guy that I really like is Thomas. I think his name is Ashur. I can't net pronounce his first name, but Thomas out of Florida State. I really like him. I have no idea what's going on with Will Johnson. I have no clue what's going on with Will Johnson. Like, the medical on him must be horrible. It must be horrible or something. As of 2 weeks ago, people were saying he was going to get drafted fourth. And he goes from fourth to out of the first round. Whew. And I know his shoulders are bad. I get it, but they can't be that bad, can they? Man. Who do I think the Steelers are going to take in the third? I hope they take a corner, but I got a feeling they're going to take a running back. I just have a feeling, and I don't be surprised if it's not DJ Giddens out of Kansas State, RJ Harvey out of Central Florida. Don't be surprised about those two. But I also wouldn't mind if they took Quincy Riley, corner out of Louisville. Don't be surprised at all. Yeah, I look at it the same way as far as second round pick. People act like we just didn't have one. No, we did have one. It was DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf was our second round pick. So, out of Shuck, McCourt, I would take McCourt. I'd take Tyler Shuck, McCourt, and Howard in that order. So, but I'm with it. I am with it. What's up, Mel? I'm absolutely with it. So, hey, y'all get a chance, man. Make sure if you're in here and you haven't hit that like button, please do me a favor and hit that like button, man. I would appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. What's going on, Toby? How you doing? Chance Sanders is there at 83. I would doubt it. I would doubt it. So, I would doubt it very seriously. I'm excited for it, too, to get together for training camp, man. If anybody is getting together, going to training camp, we're going to be out there. So, we're going to get our Almighty Alcoholic shirts out for everybody. We're going to get those out soon, and we're going to be ready. Yes, sir, Mr. Robert Smith. We are going live again tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100% we're going live again tonight. So, yeah, my dog. It's anytime we do these town halls, she gets after it. And she's got not a worry in the world. And she's not going to wake up either. She's not going to wake up. She is not going to wake up. Yeah, she is getting after it. She is getting after it. Will I go live on day 3? Yeah. I believe so. We're talking about it. I mean, Jason, she might have had some Thunderbird. That's why she's knocked out. She might have been getting after the Thunderbird. Oh, goodness. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, we're definitely going live tonight. We're probably going to go live on Saturday as well, although it's early. Comes on at noon Eastern, 11 Central, which is where I am, Central Time. So, but it'll be fun. We had a good time last night, man. So if you guys, you want to come in and have a good time, talk some football, talk some Steelers football, we'll be on. Thunderbird and grapefruit juice, like the 70s. Oh, Jason, you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay. Let's get the racist out of here. Don't need that. Appreciate it, Samuel. We'll be there. You just got heartburn. Exactly. I mean, grapefruit juice will give you heartburn anyway. Now you're going to throw some Thunderbird in there to mix it with? Ugh. Golly. First of all, your liver must be made of just a pure rock if you're drinking that. Oof. Big G's crashing out, Arts Baby Doll. Big G is absolutely crashing out. He's crashing out. He doesn't like Harmon. He thinks it's a wasted pick. You know, he is 100% crash out mode. 100% crash out mode. So, yeah, he thinks the Steelers wasted a pick on him. It should have been Sanders. The offense isn't any better. I'm like, how could the offense be worse? They added a big-time receiver to the offense. Tell me how it's worse. So, he's just in crash out mode. Yeah, he wanted Sanders. So he's in his feelings right now. Now he's talking about he thinks that Tyreek Williams was better. And I'm like, come on, bro. But Big G will be around. He'll be all right. He's been in the Matrix all night long. You're exactly right. He'll be all right. That's my boy. He's a little Ohio State centric, but that's okay. We all have our bias. Nah, I don't think he's on that Thunderbird. I don't think he is. So, yeah, Miami taking Kenneth Grant, that shocked me too. That shocked me too. Yeah, that shocked me. I was like, ooh, okay. I thought he'd go earlier than us. I'd started hearing that, but I thought he was going to go to Tampa. But 13, I was like, oof, that hurt me. That hurt me. That hurt me. But that's all right. If Harmon's the consolation prize, you could do way worse. I like Kobe Bryant, but he's kind of sliding down the board. If we could get him in the fourth round, I wouldn't be mad. Kobe Bryant's a good football player. I have I do a Big 12 Insiders channel, so I see him a lot. Saw him a lot at Kansas. He's good. Yeah, I heard about Harmon. So, thing is, he played 8 football games last year with the injury. So, I think he'll be fine. He's not going to have surgery in the offseason. So, I believe so too. Harmon, Nolan, and Grant were all, hey, whoever's there, pick your poison. Arch Baby Doll says we need a cornerback before we need a running back. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. The only problem is that in this draft, it just depends. There's not a plethora of really, really good corners, right? Where the Steelers would pick. But there's a few. There's a few, but I think you're right, Arch Baby Doll. I think the Steelers should get a corner. But the problem is there's just not that many. Yeah, Slay, like I said, the Steelers just didn't address the position in free agency like I thought they would. I thought they'd go out and spend money on a free agent, and they didn't do that. I mean, they brought in Slay, but that's a 1-year deal. That's not addressing the position. I talk about addressing the position. You get a DJ Reed or Byron Murphy, somebody like that, and they didn't do that. So, what do I think about Isaiah Bond? I think nobody needs to take Isaiah Bond. I think Isaiah Bond is headed to jail. So, I like McCord more than I like Howard. Oh, what did Bond do? Sexual assault in the city that I live in, Frisco, Texas. So I know all about the case. So, what's going on, Wes? So, yeah, no, Isaiah Bond, nobody needs to draft him. He's headed to jail. I wouldn't say the Steelers are good on the old line. Where did you see the Steelers had a top 5 line the first half of the year? That ain't true. That ain't even remotely true. Mm-mm. How do I feel about Tyler Shough? I like him. don't think he's a superstar, but I think he'll be a serviceable NFL quarterback. I don't get caught up on his age either. We got a backup center. We do need another guard. We need a tackle. Look, you never stop investing in the O-line, man. Oh, I have a great time here in Texas being a Steeler fan. I live 10 minutes from the Star. And every time they lose, I go and make fun of them. I make a little TikTok video from there. I love it. The people got a little afraid Josh Simmons' injury, but Josh Simmons can play football. Chiefs got a good tackle there. Yep. He got hurt, his patella, but yeah, we got to improve both lines. We got to improve both lines, but we'll do that. Hopefully. Uh-oh. You heard somebody get something and woke up. Like if you open that fridge, somebody's going to have to pay the cheese tax. Well, and on the move. On the move. Heard the cheese wrapper and on the move. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. When do you see the Steelers in the Super Bowl? Man, that's tough to say. That's tough to say. So, that's tough to say. I'd like to say in the next 3 to 4 years, but that's just being optimistic. She got up. Yep, she got up. And now, somehow, cheese got thrown on the couch. She's crazy. I like Giddens too. Comp picks is why they got Slay. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just address the position. I mean, you keep talking about comp picks, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we got to improve the QB room. We got to improve the running back room. And we got to improve the cornerback room. So, yeah, you're exactly right, Brad Bowman. For Harmon to be able to deal with what he's dealing with right now, God bless him. She is full-blooded. You're exactly right, Chris B. I'm with you. Stay the course. Big man draft. Do I think Tomlin is a problem? Yeah. I think Tomlin's his way of trying to win football games is the problem. But if we can get a quarterback, then let's see what happens. Bigger, better, faster. Damn right, Arts Baby Doll. Can we trade Mika for a second-round pick? Look, people were talking about that, and I said the only way we're going to get a second-round pick in this draft is we're going to have to trade a player. Who's going to trade for Mika's contract? That's my only thing. It's not that his skill level. It's how much he makes based on what we're asking him to do. Good teams aren't paying Mika $18 million. Good teams aren't going to do that. Steelers did. And now they don't ask him to do anything. It's a problem for me. It's a problem for a lot of people. People say the Steelers are going to have a trash season every year. yet it never happens. How'd that work out? Not trading Pickens. They're not trading Pickens. Bad team's not going to take on Minka's contract. Because a bad team is like, why do we need him? I mean, you could be a bad team. That don't mean you have to have idiots in the front office. That's right. We got to see what Pickens and Metcalf can do. Got to be willing to do that. Yeah, with Minka, I mean, look, it's what they were asking him to do. I mean, we can be mad at him for not doing it, but they weren't asking him to make any plays last year, so he didn't. It stinks, but it's just the truth. Yeah, Trey, you're right. Minka didn't give up any big plays, but I'm just saying, I'll say this. A rookie playing center field doesn't have, if you're playing that far off the line of scrimmage, they're not going to give up any big plays either. Better yet, do you have to pay a guy $18 million to be the last line of defense that not down in the box, not causing any havoc, not covering slot corners? Why do you need to pay a guy $18 million to do what Minka did last year? I'm not blaming Minka either. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying the Steelers put him in a position where he wasn't able to make plays, but you're paying him $18 million. You don't need to pay a guy $18 million to do what they're asking him to do. You can pay somebody less than half to do what they asked him to do. That's my only thing. I think Minka's fine. I don't think he's slipped. I don't think he's a problem. My whole thing is, if you're not going to ask him to do anything but play last line of defense because you don't trust your corners, fine. But you can't pay that guy $18 million. That's what doesn't make sense. I love Deshaun Elliott. I think Deshaun Elliott is going to get a contract extension before the season starts. I think that wholeheartedly. He's going to get an extension and a raise, wholeheartedly. Nah, I don't know, Mark Malone. I'm not sold on Caleb Johnson. I'm not that guy. I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on him. So, I don't know, Chris B. 54 might be pushing it. I'm 49. I'm not sure I could be out there doing what Minka does either. So, no, you didn't want Dante Jackson to stay. No, you didn't want him to stay. He wasn't good. He wasn't good for the Steelers, man. The Steelers upgraded the cornerback position in the offseason, and they really didn't even do anything except get Darius Slay. Nah, yeah. Minka didn't fall off. They just weren't asking him to do anything. That's all. That's the misconception. People think that Minka fell off. He didn't. They just had him playing so far off the line of scrimmage, it's hard to make plays that far. Now, nobody threw the ball over his head. That never happened. But is that what we want to pay $18 million for? Nah, you can't think the team's legit right now, man. I'm not saying that things can't happen because we've seen what happens in the NFL. Anything can happen, but you can't just say right now that the Steelers have a legit team that can win a Super Bowl. You can't say that. It can happen because guys can get better. Things can happen. But from the outside looking in on paper, you wouldn't say that. Hey, Alex said I got a milk dud head. Your mother likes it. So, see, she loves it. She loves to rub this milk dud head. Ask her about it. Prediction for the third round: O-line, running back, or other. Here's the thing. I think that they're going to take a running back, but I would prefer they take a corner. So I think the Steelers are going to take a running back in the third round, but I would prefer them take a corner. So, but we'll see. We will see. Did Harmon's mom actually pass, or is she still on life support? And if you're telling me that she hung on just so she could have the presence of her son being drafted, that's an incredible woman. That's an incredible woman. Lord have mercy. Minkah does tackle outside the box. He also tackles inside the box. They just didn't have him playing inside the box this past year. So, I mean, hell, all Minkah's tackles were outside the box. What are you talking about? And he was third on the team in tackles. Well, maybe fourth. I think he was fourth. We just need a running game, man. We do, but we need a running game. We do need a running game. I don't think there's any way the Steelers can get Sanders. I mean, I guess he could drop to the third round. I guess. When are we going to replace Minkah? But here's the thing, Chris. You're saying replace Minkah because he was 25 yards off the line of scrimmage, right? Is that his fault or is that the scheme? Because if you think that he just said, you know what, I'm going to line 25 yards off the ball just for the hell of it, I would just kindly say that you're wrong. And that doesn't mean that he needs to be replaced because the Steelers scheme asked him to be that far off of the line of scrimmage. It just means you're paying him too much to do that, and you need to trust your corners more so you don't have to play him that far off. We need to change our scheme. That's on Tomlin. I agree. I don't love Minkah at the price when they're not asking him to do anything. If this is what the scheme 3 years ago when Minkah's down, even 2 years ago before he got hurt, down in the box, causing havoc, making tackles at the line of scrimmage, covering tight ends, covering slot corners, that Minkah, I give that Minkah $18 million a year. Last year, I don't want to give that guy $18 million because you're not for an $18 million player, that guy has to be a difference maker. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're paying somebody that kind of money, they have to be a difference maker. And the scheme didn't allow him to be a difference maker. That's the problem with Minkah. Not him, scheme. So if they go back and they put him in position to make plays and then he can't make the plays, well, that's a different conversation. And then we can deal with that when the time's right. But we don't know that. And I will say this, early on in the season, Minkah was down close towards the line of scrimmage. He was making plays. The first 5 games of the year, Minkah Fitzpatrick was making plays. But after that, he wasn't. And it was a problem. So, Yeah, you're right. They got to stop having, linebackers cover slot receivers. It's crazy. Exactly. The Colts are paying less money to their starting quarterback than Minka. That's true. Porter ranked 155 out of the corner. No, he didn't, man. That's not even remotely true. First of all, 155 corners in the National Football League. There's 32 teams, and they start two people. Now you're telling me that Joey Porter Jr. was 155th? Come on, bro. I know you're probably new here. We don't allow people to just make up stats and to try to be right. You don't have to like Joey Porter Jr., and you can just say you don't like him. But to say that he ranked 155th out of corners, come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on now. I wouldn't be disgusted at double dipping on defensive tackles. Like I mentioned before, you can have more than one good player on a team. You can have more than one good player at a position. So I don't begrudge if the Steelers double dipped. I like a CJ West out of Indiana. If we could get him in the 4th or 5th round, I'd be right there too. So let me look up something. Yeah, it's a big draft. This is a big person draft. And you know me. For the ones that do know me, I'm not opposed to going and getting us another offensive lineman. And, never stop investing in the O-line. So I'm not opposed to it. And I'm not opposed to creating some competition over at that left tackle or either tackle spot. I'm not opposed to creating some competition there. I'm not opposed at all to creating some competition there. So, not at all opposed to it. I'm just looking up something. But yeah, no, I'm not opposed to going and drafting big people, man. Yeah, the Steelers took them out. Never have too much depth. You can never have too much depth on the O-line. Never, ever, 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 ever. My man Mike Williams coming in hot Thunderbird time. Look, see now she's up. She's mad though because I've been making too much noise. That's what it is. She's like, look, I was trying to sleep and you're making too much noise. But my eyes are starting to droop though. She'll be asleep here in a minute. Do-do-do-do. Let's see. I feel like the Steelers need to get back in the second round. I mean, but what are you going to do? Like, I guess here's my question. If I answer me this, chat. Let's just say that the Steelers said in the second round they drafted a guy that was as good as DK Metcalf. Let's just say they do that. Would you accept that? Like if the Steelers right now drafted a guy that was as good as DK Metcalf, would you accept it? Because if the answer is yes, then the Steelers did have a second round pick. What's the infatuation with getting in the second round? Chris says no. So you wouldn't take a guy as good as DK Metcalf in the second round? So just so we're clear, if the Steelers in the 2025 draft a guy that's as good as DK Metcalf, you would say, no, I don't want that. I don't want that on my team. That's what you're saying? You're being serious. I mean, that's why are people, it's like, what's the infatuation? To just say we have a second round pick? We had one, DK Metcalf. There's nothing wrong with him. So I guess I'm curious on why drafting in the second round is so important. So see, PFF grade. Yeah, here's the thing, man. I like PFF. I think it's a tool, but because I know people that have worked for PFF. Some of the grades and stuff is not real football. So I use it as a tool. You guys can use it as a tool. But if you know football, just watch the games and let that be your guide. You don't need PFF to tell you how good somebody is. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is trust yourself over that, over analytical nerds. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's got its place, but trust your eyes more than you trust analytical nerds when it comes to football. Because some of the grades and some of the stuff that they do, you're like, you gave them a negative on that? And on the flip side, you gave them a positive on that? Yeah, so I don't know if the Steelers are going to draft a wideout in this draft or not. The only reason I say that is I still think the Steelers want to see what Roman Wilson has. So you got DK Metcalf, you got George Pickens, you got Calvin Austin III, you got Roman Wilson, you got Skoranek. Remember, Freiermuth is basically a wide receiver. I think the Steelers are set at those weapons. I think they're set at those weapons. So I don't think, and I know, well, Pickens, he's on the last year of his deal. The Steelers could always franchise him, And if they lost him to free agency, they could get, a comp pick the next year. So, but I don't think they're going to lose him to free agency, to be honest with you. I think if he has a decent year, I think the Steelers are going to sign him. Why can't you pay two receivers? You can. Teams do it all the time, and they're just fine. So, heck, the Philadelphia Eagles do it, and they're just fine. Now, not only do they pay two top flight receivers, they also pay in quarterback and offensive line. They're just fine. I think, Torsha, I do believe that the Steelers are going to go running back in the third round. I want them to go corner if a good corner is available, but I think they are going to go running back in the third round. I do. That's right, Arch Baby Dog. You know our philosophy. Contract year means we're going to get the best out of you. And this is a contract year from our man Pickens. I think we're going to get the best out of him. Right, and that's the thing, Jay. You let go Pickens, you get a third round in 2027. Is that what you want? Or just pay the kid? I'd prefer just pay him. I prefer just pay him if he's worthy of it. So, yeah, I told y'all she wasn't long for this world. I told y'all she wasn't long for this world, man. Her eyes were drooping. So, I don't know what a good third round corner is. Slants? I don't know right now, man. It's tough to say. It's tough to say because I feel like there's going to be a run on corners in the second round. And if there is, the question is who's left? You know what I'm saying? It's like if there's a run on corners, like who's left in the draft? So I don't know. But I definitely want a corner in the third round. No, there's no receivers as good as DK. Man, yes, Andre, I spoke to Big G about it. Big G's crashing out about the pick, man. Big G is on crash out mode about the pick. He can't stand it. He doesn't like Harmon. Of course, you know, he thinks that a guy from Ohio State is better, but you know how that goes. But, which is cool. You know Big G. He's Ohio State, you know, for life. I can't blame him for it and won't blame him for it. He thinks it should have been Sanders. He thinks Harmon's a wasted pick, and he's just in crash out mode. He's just in crash out mode. So, I don't think Pickens wants out. And Pickens not going to hold out a trading camp. What's he going to hold out for? A new contract? He's not going to get one. So he's only going to cost himself money because the Steelers aren't going to give him no contract right now. So what, you want to hold out? Okay, cost yourself money. It's up to you. Doesn't matter. But see, yeah, Pickens ain't getting paid this offseason. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Yeah, if he holds out, and his agent would be the worst agent since Le'Veon Bell's agent. One of the worst to ever be in the NFL. So he ain't going to hold out. And again, if he does, good, more power to him, but he's not getting a new contract, and he's just going to cost himself money. So Big G will get over it. He's just mad right now. It's all right. You know, it's weird because here's the thing, like, oh, well, Sanders was the pick. That had to be the pick. Well, nobody else thought he was a first-round talent either. So how come it's only the Steelers that are wrong? You know what I'm saying? It's like people think, oh, well, Sanders had to be a first-round talent. Well, hold on a second. Nobody else took him in the first round. So how come it's only the Steelers that are wrong and nobody else is wrong? So, but all right, man, I'm going to bust out of here. We will be live tonight. Make sure you all show up tonight. We're going to be live starting the draft at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. We'll be live tonight. Make sure you guys are around. Make sure you guys show up. Do me two favors. One, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're in here, make sure you do that. Number two, make sure you hit the like button, man. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I'll talk to you guys tonight, man. Aloha.